last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Alright, 'cause I'm free. Freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Alright, 'cause I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Alright, 'cause I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer
Yes! Ground Zero, how are you doing tonight? Let's try that one more time. I said, Ground Zero, how are you doing tonight? Oh, yeah! Thanks for being here. If this is your first time, my name is Josh, this is Mackenzie and the Glorious Band, and we want to invite you to stand with us. We got a lot of fun things planned, but first we're going to sing and worship Jesus together and thank Him for all that He's done for us. So I invite you to sing with me. Let's sing nice and loud together. Let's do it.
Eyes wide, I'm set on you. And you made a road in the wild, standing on ancient truth. I'm pressing on with my back to the past, and oh, let the young see visions of the future, and I sing, oh, let the old dream.
Let me hear you, Ground Zero, come on!
In my world, God do a new thing, I know you're moving, yeah. In my world, a chain reaction of holy passion.
Let's get those hands in the air, come on! Hey, that's right! All right!
Heart synced and strive with you. Burst pressing on with my back to the past, and oh, let the young see visions of the future, and I sing, oh, let the old dream dreams.
Come on! Let me hear it!
In my world, God do a new thing, I know you're moving. In my world, a chain reaction of holy passion.
Come on, yeah! I like it! We say, come on!
The old life is gone. It's a new day. It's a new day. Found where I belong. It's a new day. It's a new day. The old life is gone. It's a new day. It's a new day. Found where I belong. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Yeah! Come on, let me hear you.
In my world, God do a new thing, I know you're moving.
Yeah!
In my world, God do a new thing, I know you're moving.
Come on, hands up!
In my world, a chain reaction of holy passion.
Oh! That's right! It's so good! One more time we say, come on!
The old life is gone. It's a new day. It's a new day. Found where I belong. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Yeah! That's right! Oh, Ground Zero, I gotta laugh. There was someone out in the crowd that was clapping with just her pinkies. It was like this. So let's all do that together. She's inspired all of us. Ready? It's so weird. Can you even see my fingers right now? Try it. Like this. Everyone is so timid, like, I don't know if I can, but I believe in you. All right, Ground Zero, let's do what we do best. We're gonna sing really loud, okay? Goes like this. You are my king.
You are my king.
You are my king. Louder. You are my king. Last time. You are everything you got. Hey! Woo! Oh! Here we go. We are here for you. No one else will do. We sing it loud for all the world to know your name. We are here for you, and no one else will do. We sing it loud for all the world to know your name. You know it, come on. 'Cause you are my hope, you are my joy, Jesus. I am forever yours, and I'm gonna dance, and I'm gonna sing. 'Cause you are, that's right, I hear you. Come on. You are my king. Oh, you are my king. You are my We are here for you. No one else will do. We're singing loud for all the world to know your name. 'Cause we are here for you, and no one else will do. We're singing loud for all the world to know your name. Come on, you are my hope, sing it. You are my hope, you are my joy, Jesus. I am forever yours, and I'm gonna dance, and I'm gonna sing. 'Cause you are my what? King. You are my You are my King. You are my King. You are I just want to say really quick, really proud of this front row, you five. I could just hear, I heard every word. You sing so loud. Thank you. You are my come on. You hear that? Oh, you are my people in the back. You are my, the adults over there. I think they sang, you are my, everybody in the room. Hey! 'Cause you are my hope, you are my joy, Jesus. I am forever yours. I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna sing. 'Cause you, one last time, everybody, you are my King. You are my You are my Make some noise, everybody, come on. Thanks for singing, everybody. I've about lost my voice. Before we sit down, let's pray together. Jesus, thank you for every single human being that's here with me tonight. Thanks for bringing us together. We love you, Jesus. We worship you. I pray we all learn something new about you tonight. That's why we're here. We give it all to you. It's in your name I pray. Amen. And now, I want to introduce to you a man who is definitely not ugly. John Zeldin Rose! Hey!
Oh man, ground zero. Oh, ground zero. Is that a compliment? It was a compliment, yes. Thank you, Josh Clutter, a man who's also not ugly. Oh, hey, Ground Zero, so good to be back with you all. I hope you enjoyed your week off, that you ate like a ton of candy, that you ate like 1,000,000 pounds of ham, that you gained a ton of Easter weight, whatever. Whatever you did over Easter, I hope you had a great time. But I'm glad to see you back in the building. Hey, if you are new here tonight, like if this is the first time that you've ever been in here, or maybe you've been like away for a while and you heard someone at school say, hey, we're meeting again, we have small groups, and this is your first night back here, or maybe you're tuning in online for like the very first time tonight, let me just say welcome on the front end here. My name is John. I am the student pastor here at Lino. I'm the student pastor for our online people. And I'm so glad that you are here if you're new. You belong here. This is a place you're gonna make friends. You're gonna learn more about Jesus, so welcome here. For the rest of you, here's what we do every single night. If you're new, this is helpful for you too. We like to sing songs like we just did. We like to hear a message that is made just for you as middle school students. And this is new. Again, we just started small groups back up, but after large group, we all head out into small groups. So if you already know where you're going, you can just storm out in mad chaos as usual, okay? No, make sure you don't trample anyone. People were way too ready to do that. But if you don't know where you're going, you can head out these doors, head right into the middle. There's a table out there that says sign up for small group. Go to that table. We'll get you in a group. And then online, if you want to join a group and you're not in one, we have online groups. Go online, go to our website. I think you can also text the word squad, check the chat. They'll throw something up. But here's one other thing we like to do every single night. I know we were off for a week, but we like to have a little fun. And do you remember how we do that? Does anyone remember? Yell it out for me. Stage game, that is right. Here we go. I need some volunteers. And here's the criteria tonight, okay? I need people who know a lot about ancient relics. Does anyone in here know a lot? I love that you're all so enthusiastic about that. Okay, let's see. What are your credentials about ancient relics? What are your credentials? Good enough, come on up. Silence is exactly the answer I was looking for. How about right there? Do you have any credentials? Yeah, you. Yes is enough. Come on up, that's enough. Just the answer yes was good. And then I've got a lot of people pointing at that girl right there. And I'm a big sucker for, oh, yes, you come on up, come on. Sorry, Trevin, you've been up before. Okay, we'll go these three. You're on, oh, Will gets up every time. You're a new regular, Will, good to see you. Okay, so grab a clipboard and then spread out a little bit. Okay, here's what I need. We're gonna get to know you for a second. I need your name, I need your grade, and I need something fun you did over Easter. What's one fun thing you did? Did you do an Easter egg hunt? Did you get to hang out with family? Did you eat good food? Anything fun you did over Easter? So name. Ella, everyone say, what's up, Ella? Ella, what grade are you in? Make some noise if you're a sixth grader in here. There's the sixth graders. And Ella, what's something fun you did over Easter? Ate all your candy. Did anyone else eat a ton of candy over Easter? Yeah, okay, me too. Name. Claire, everyone say, what's up, Claire? Claire, what grade are you in? She's a seventh grader. Are there any seventh graders here? Oh, the seventh graders showed up. What's up, seventh graders? And then what'd you do that was fun over Easter? An Easter egg hunt. Did anyone do an Easter egg hunt? A few people. You're never too old for an Easter egg hunt. Just know that right now. I will always give you permission. Quote me as a resource if you need it. Okay, last but not least, we got William. Everyone say, what's up, William? William, what grade are you in? Sixth graders, and are you here still, sixth graders? Are you in the room still? Let's hear it. You're here, okay, good. And you're an eighth grader? Sorry, if you're eighth graders, we're glad you're here. You just gotta get up and say, I gotta pick an eighth grader next time. And Will, what's one fun thing you did over Easter? Hung out with family. Didn't anyone just hang out with family? Was it nice to see family members? Okay, cool, me too. All right, here's the name of the game. It's called Ancient Artifact. Whoa, so here's what you're gonna have to do. We're gonna put an ancient artifact, and it's gonna be not that actually ancient. It's just gonna be from like our parents' generation, okay? So it's like things that our parents used, that I used too. I shouldn't exclude myself from that. Here's what you have to do. You have to write down what you think the name of it is and what you think it did. And if you've got no idea, just make something up. Make something funny up. I'm gonna give points for if you get it right, and I'll also give points for creativity, okay? So let's see the first item online. Give us your guesses too. I wanna hear what you think these items are. Okay, there we go. There's our first item. So write down the name of it, write down its name, and then give a guess of what it did. Just like 2 or 3 words, just 2 or 3 words. Does anyone think they know what this is? Raise your hand if you think you know what it is. Don't say anything. Okay, it's interesting to know how many people know things. Okay, do you all feel ready? Okay, here we go. What's the answer? The answer is a pager. Here, let's see. They're bringing it up. A beeper or a pager. And it was used to send phone numbers or text messages. What do you have? Camcorder recorder. Camcorder recorder. Okay. Camcord and it records thing. Oh, that's what it is and what it does. I got you. What'd you have? A GoPro. It was not quite, but it was good guess. No, good guess, yeah. And then camera and it took pictures. Okay, so everyone thought it was a camera. You all were close. We're gonna do another one, okay? I'm gonna go 0 points for that one. We'll see if they get easier or harder. Did anyone know that it was a pager? You did, okay. One kid for sure knew. What's the next one? What do we got? Ooh, what is that thing? It's not a phone. I'm just gonna say it's not a phone. It's more than just a phone, so. It's more than just a phone. Does anyone know what that thing is? A couple of people do? Everyone knows. I know, this is making me feel really old. So if there's any small group leaders in the audience that's making you feel old, I'm there with you because I know what all this is. Oh man, all right. Here we go, let's see what it is. We'll throw it up on the screen. What do you got? Prints, phone number, okay, a telephone printer and it prints phone numbers. Close, it's called a fax machine. You use it to send copies of documents from one machine to another. So close, what do you have? Just a telephone? No, that's all right, it was hard. It had a telephone in it, it was a good guess. A phone / a printer. It's hard. Those things are weird. It's called a fax machine. They're ancient and old. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Let's do one more, and this is gonna be for all the money, okay? So let's see what the next one is. Whoever gets this one closest. And if you can't come up with something, just make up the funniest answer you can think of. If you can't come up with something, make up something really funny. I'll give a point for either if you're right or if you're creative. Does anyone know what this one is? Okay. I don't know what this one is. A mini piano. I'm gonna get a point for that. Okay, here we go. Do you all have answers? You got them, let's see. What do you think it is? A pickle laminator. Great answer. I think that's funny. Okay, what did you have? A typewriter. It might be actually. And what do you have? A typewriter / computer. What is it? Let's see. It's a dot matrix printer. As we all knew, we're about to say a dot matrix printer. An old printer that used a specific type of paper. Okay, does anyone know what a dot matrix printer is or does? A few people do? I didn't know that one, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought pickle laminator was funny. I'm gonna give you the win, is what that means. Sorry, you guys did a great job guessing. Now you know a bunch of ancient artifacts. Well done, you all can find a seat. And then you, Ella, are our prize, so yeah, Amazon gift card, enjoy that. Let's make a little noise for Ella as she finds seats and our brave contestants. They know all sorts of things about artifacts now. All right, Ground Zero. One thing that I want to talk with you quick about is Easter. We just had Easter this last weekend, and the heartbeat of our church is to celebrate when someone makes the decision to follow Jesus. And Easter is all about Jesus coming back to life and bringing hope and new life. And so our pastor extended the invitation for people to make that decision this last weekend. And I'm gonna give you the number in just 1 second. And I want you to hoot and holler and cheer and jump. I want you to make the closest noise you can make to a howling monkey, whatever that is in your mind. And just make that for a couple seconds, because it says that the angels in heaven celebrate when people make that decision. So here's a number. When I say it, make as much noise as you can for a little while. 799 people made the first time decision to follow Jesus at his church this last weekend in Easter, which is incredible. That means 799 lives were changed forever. And here's one other thing I want to say quick about that is that decision totally changes lives. It is a life-changing decision. It is, again, the heartbeat of our church, one of the things we value most. But if you've made that decision in this last year, maybe you even made that decision on Easter this last weekend, I can't encourage you enough to get into a small group, because community is where we learn and grow together. It's where we figure out how to follow Jesus together. So if you made that decision and you're not in a small group, you have to get in a small group, because life is better together. That's where we figure out how to follow Jesus. With that, Ground Zero, Mark is gonna come up and give a message in just a second. When the lights come up after the video, can you make a ton of noise for him? Welcome him back after an Easter break. Sweet. All right, Ground Zero, great to be with you all. Love hanging out with you. You're some of my favorite people. Check out this video.
This is where it all begins. This is where it all begins.
Ground Zero! Oh my goodness, it is so good to see you guys. I missed you last week, but I hope you had a really good Easter. You have a good Easter? Yeah? You get some Easter candy, maybe? A little bit of time off school, hopefully? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. But it's good to be back on a Wednesday night. Man, this is my favorite night of the week. I love hanging out with you guys. If we haven't met yet, my name is Mark, and I'm your middle school teaching pastor. And I just want to say what's up to anybody who's joining us at one of our campuses, and a big shout out to anybody who's watching this on YouTube right now. I'm excited tonight because we are starting a brand new series called Strange But True. The truth is that some of the stories in the Bible are just strange. Like, if we're just honest about it, they're kind of weird. But even the weirdest stories in the Bible are there for a reason, and they can teach us something about how to live our life for God. So as we jump in tonight, I gotta ask, have you ever been hangry? Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of hands go up. Are any of you hangry right now? A little pro tip for you, bring a buck or two. You can get something from the cafe, and that'll just fill you up, and you'll be feeling good, okay? I don't want you being hangry during my messages, all right? Well, I kind of thought hangry was just a slang word. Like, we just, kind of use that as slang, but it's actually a legit word that's in the dictionary. Yeah, and the truth is, we don't need a dictionary definition to know what hangry means, because most of us have experienced that in our lives, and also because we have memes. Look at this. Me before food. Right? Me after food. Oh, life is good. That's all we need to know about being hangry right there. Well, hey, in the strange but true story that we're going to look at tonight, it looks like Jesus got hangry. This is really interesting to me. And it's actually kind of cool, because what that tells me is that Jesus experienced emotions, feelings, just like we do. One of the things that we believe about Jesus is that he is fully God and fully human. Only one in the history of the world to ever be fully God and fully human. Because he is fully human, he experienced and experiences human emotions like we do. That means that he got sad. And that means that he got excited about things. And that means that when he stubbed his toe, it hurt. Only difference was he probably didn't say a swear word under his breath because, the fully God part, right? But it also means that sometimes he got hangry. And man, that's kind of what happens in the story that we're going to look at tonight. We're looking at it in the book of Mark, all right? Mark was the one who wrote this, not me, all right? I did not write any of the Bible, okay? But this is one of Jesus's disciples who recorded the events that happened while Jesus was here on earth, and we have this in the Bible today. So let's read this story. Let's look at what happened. So it says this: the next day, as this is Jesus and his disciples, were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. So he's just experiencing kind of normal hunger at this point. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves. Just a bunch of leaves on the tree, no fruit, because it was not the season for figs. Let's see what happened next. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." Jesus is a little bit hangry. And his disciples heard him say it. I mean, man, yeah. He's feeling it. Look what happened next. In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. Peter remembered and said to Jesus, "Rabbi," which just means teacher. He said, "Teacher, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered." What in the world is going on with this story right now? Jesus goes to this fig tree looking for some fruit. It doesn't have any, and so zap, he just destroys it, right? They come back and it's just withered the next day. Well, I would hate to see what would happen if Jesus went to a McDonald's and they were out of chicken nuggets. He'd be like, "Let's burn this place down." I'm just kidding. He wouldn't do that, okay? He's Jesus, all right? Fully God, okay? I mean, what is going on here? Is Jesus just hangry? and he's just taking it out on this tree. I don't think that's all that was going on. I think that Jesus is trying to teach us something. He's trying to teach us a deeper lesson about the importance of bearing fruit in our lives. And so tonight, I want to pull two truths out of this story about bearing fruit in our lives. And the first is this right here. Followers of Jesus produce good fruit. Man, Jesus went over to this fig tree expecting to find some fruit, but there was none there. And what this shows us is that if we don't have fruit in our lives, that's a big problem. Because if you are a follower of Jesus, then you should be producing good fruit in your life. Now, hold up for just a second, okay? We have to ask a really important question. What in the world does it mean to bear fruit? Like, are there supposed to be strawberries coming out of our armpits? Or like blueberries coming out of our ears? Like, what does that even mean? No, okay, we can't produce literal fruit. And if you can, you need to show me that, okay? Because I really want to see that. But we can't do that. But when the Bible talks about the type of life that we should have, the type of character traits that we should have as a part of who we are, it often talks about that as fruit. Okay, but again, what is this fruit? Well, that's where a different section of the Bible can help us out. And we can look at the words of Paul, who wrote the book of Galatians. And in Galatians, Paul talks about what life without Jesus looks like compared to life with Jesus. And Paul shows us that when we make the decision to follow Jesus, when we put our faith in him, God's Spirit comes and lives inside of us and helps us to produce good fruit. And literally, God's Spirit helps us become more like God. But what exactly is this fruit? Well, Paul tells us. He says this, but the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's a pretty big list there. So the fruit that we are supposed to be producing in our lives is not literal strawberries and blueberries. It's this right here. This is the fruit. So let's talk about each one of these just briefly. I want to ask you some questions. So love, let's take love. This isn't romantic, mushy-gushy love. This is about showing love to other people. So how well are you doing at loving the people around you? Joy. Joy is different than happiness. Happiness is so often about our circumstances and just like how we're feeling, but joy is a lot deeper than that. We can have joy even when life gets difficult. And the same is true of peace. When you experience difficult things in your life, do you have the confidence that everything is going to be okay and God is with you? Do you have peace in your life? How about patience? Patience is difficult. How do you respond? How do you react when things don't go your way? How about kindness? Would people describe you as a kind person? They'd be like, oh, she is so nice. He's so kind. Then we have goodness. How well are you doing at choosing what's right over what's wrong? Faithfulness. Is God the most important thing in your life? Is pleasing him with what you do and say? Is that what matters most to you? Gentleness. Now, a lot of times we think of gentleness as like being wimpy or being weak, but it's actually not that at all. Gentleness is actually strength and power under control. And then we have self-control. So what is driving you? Are your wants and desires in control, or are you in control? This fruit is important. We should be producing this in our lives. And get this fruit is evidence that we are authentic followers of Jesus. When we're seeing these things in our lives, it's proof that God's Spirit is in us. It should be really encouraging to us if we're like, yeah, I'm good at loving people, or yeah, I'm experiencing, peace and joy in my life. That is evidence that God is working in your life, which is really cool. And it's proof that your faith is real and not fake. And we all want what's real over what's fake, right? So a while ago, I was in the market for some noise-canceling headphones because I was working in coffee shops a lot, and just because I'm extroverted and easily distracted, I just needed something that I could wear and lock in when I was working on messages and that kind of stuff. So I decided to get some, and I found a pair on Facebook Marketplace. They were Beats Studio 3, which is like really nice headphones, right? And there was a really good deal, and so I messaged the guy. They were available. He said, yep, let's meet up. So I met up. I paid him the money, and I got the headphones, and I didn't really look at them until I got home. And when I got home and I unboxed them, yeah, that was a rookie mistake, right? It's like, I unboxed them, and I'm like, this just doesn't seem right. Like, something seems off about these. They looked exactly like Beats. The box looked exactly like Beats, but they just, I don't know, didn't feel as good of quality as I thought they should. And when I put them on, I started listening to music, like Justin Bieber's voice just didn't sound as angelic as it should have, okay? You laugh, but I know you're listening to his new album, okay? Just be real. There's like, no. It didn't seem right. And so I wasn't sure how to tell for sure if they were real or they were fake. And so I went to YouTube and I found a video, and this guy helped me out. He had a fake versus real Beats Studio 3 wireless headphone authentic video. And the main way that I could tell that these were not real is they didn't do what Beats headphones were supposed to do. When you open up your iPhone and you turn on your Beats, this is supposed to pop up. And it easily pairs them together. And if that doesn't show up, then chances are you have fake Beats. That didn't show up on the headphones that I bought. They were fake. I paid all that money for fake headphones. Now, side note, the guy was really nice. I actually messaged him, and he let me return them. He gave me my money back. It's just like super nice of him. So I feel like we should just like give that random guy a round of applause. But here's why I tell you that story, okay? Here's my point. Bearing fruit in our lives is the proof that we are authentic or real followers of Jesus. Like doing those things, being those things is how we show and prove that God's Spirit is in us and working in us. When we show love, when we experience joy and peace and patience, when we're kind, when we live out goodness, all of those things, it's proof that our faith is real. And what Jesus is showing us with this story, with this fig tree, is that it's actually possible to, give the impression or to look like you have a strong relationship with God. It's possible to look like you're following Jesus without having the fruit to prove it. Jesus went up to this tree, and all these little details in the Bible matter, right? They're so important. And it says that it's in leaf, right? Which just means that tree had leaves on it. Now, typically, when a fig tree had leaves on it, it also had fruit. But Jesus went up to it, and there wasn't any there, right? So it gave the impression that it had it, but it really didn't. And we can do the same thing in our faith. We can show up to church. We can rock some Ground Zero merch, but we can not have the fruit to back it up. And so the challenge that we need to take is to not just look like a follower of Jesus on the outside, not just look like a Christian on the outside, but be growing the character of God on the inside. Like be growing the fruit of the Spirit in our lives. Because true followers of Jesus bear good fruit. All right, the second truth that I want to pull out from this story is this: followers of Jesus produce good fruit every day. I did a little bit of a deep dive on fig trees, and I learned things, and that's where fig Newtons come from, apparently, and all this stuff. But one of the things that I learned is that fig trees produce fruit twice a year, one time in the spring and one time in the fall, and now you know that useless fact about fig trees just like me, okay? Yeah, okay, yes, let's go. But look, Jesus goes up to this fig tree, and Mark even tells us in the story that it's not the season for figs, but it was giving off the impression that it should have had fruit, right? It was in leaf, And Jesus expected to find some. He expected that that tree would have fruit. So what does that mean for us today? Well, I think what that tells us is that the season for producing good fruit in our lives is every single day. That we should always be producing this kind of fruit, not just when we feel like it. Sometimes I think we like to decide when we're gonna produce this fruit in our lives. We like to decide when we're gonna be nice to somebody. We like to decide when we're gonna experience joy in life. We like to decide when we're gonna have self-control. But the goal and the challenge is to grow this fruit in our lives every single day. And I was reminded of this importance last week when I went to grab some lunch with some friends. We went to a local sub sandwich shop. I'm not gonna tell you which one, so don't ask, but we went there to get some Sammys because I like sandwiches a lot, all right? And so we walked in and it was slammed. It was like everybody decided that they wanted to get a sandwich that day, and we were some of those people. And so we walked in and pretty quickly, my friends put their orders in and they got their sandwiches, but right before I was about to order, they got the biggest online order, I think, in the history of the world, okay? Like, I think it was enough sandwiches for an entire football team or the entire town of Woodbury. I don't know. It was a lot of sandwiches. And I'd already been there like 10 minutes waiting, and now they started working on all of these sandwiches, and I was kind of getting impatient and annoyed that they hadn't asked me yet what I wanted, and then finally they did. They were like, what do you want? And I gave them my order, but they didn't write it down. They didn't give me like the little slip with my number on it, and I was like, do you even remember what I ordered? And I was getting irritated, and I could feel myself having less and less patience. And if I'm honest with you, I was hangry, okay? I was like, I want sandwich now. Come on, somebody say that. I want sandwich now. That's what I felt like on the inside, okay? And to be honest, I was a little bit, I was like ready to let him have it a little bit. Like, you know what? I was here before that order came in. Like, you should serve me first. Like, am I ever gonna get to eat? I like to eat. Like, make my sandwich already. I want a sandwich now. But I remembered in that moment, man, I need to practice patience. And I need to practice self-control a little bit. And I need to practice kindness. Like, I need those things to be a part of my life right now because I just feel myself being impatient. You ever just feel yourself getting impatient? What if you just stopped and said, man, I need to practice patience right now. Produce a little bit of patience in my life. Like, just like a little patience pear. Just like pops right here and you just take it off and tastes pretty good. And I'm so grateful that God helped me produce patience in that moment. Like, I didn't freak out at them. I didn't yell at them. I didn't, I was nice. I said thank you, and I just kind of went on with my day. But I was so grateful that God helped me do that because when I paid, when I handed the lady behind the cash register my credit card, she looked at my bracelet and she's like, I really like your bracelet. Now, maybe you've seen me wear this before, but this is a WWJD bracelet, which stands for What Would Jesus Do? So basically, this is leaves, right? If you think about the story. Like, I was giving off the look that I am a Christian, that I'm following Jesus. And on top of that, I was wearing a Revolution sweatshirt, which is our high school ministry. So I was like double repping Jesus in that sandwich shop, okay? I know, but I support our high school ministry too. They're awesome, okay? But I was double repping Jesus in that sandwich shop. Like, what would it have looked like if I had been a jerk? And so I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful that God helped me have patience in that moment. Sometimes I think we like to decide when we're going to produce this fruit. Sometimes I think we like to choose when we're going to live these things out, when we're going to produce this good fruit. Like, yeah, I'll be kind to my siblings when they're kind to me and they leave my stuff alone. Or, man, I'll be patient with my parents when they start giving me respect or treating me how I want them to treat me. Or I'll start having self-control, when I'm trying to accomplish something, I'm trying to make a team, or I'm trying to get better at my grades. Like, we like to choose when we produce these things, but it's so important that it's our goal to produce this every single day. And again, this is the evidence, this is the proof that we are a follower of Jesus. And so, let's put this up here one more time. The fruit of the Spirit. If Jesus walked in this room tonight, and he walked over to your section, and he walked down your row, and he sat down next to you, and he looked at your life, would he see this fruit? Would he see love, joy, peace, and patience in your life? Would he see you being kind? Would he see goodness? Would he see faithfulness? Would he see gentleness and self-control? I hope so. And look, the reality is that we're not going to be perfect at living these things out, right? Because we are human. But we can be growing in these things. And so that's my challenge for us this week is let's grow in the fruit of the Spirit. Let's work on living these out more and more in our life. And so what I want you to do is pick some fruit, pun intended, all right? I want you to pick some fruit, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe just 1 that you're going to work on this week, that you're gonna get up in the morning and say, God, please help me produce this in my life, right? Because God has to be part of it. Maybe for you, it is patience. Help me to be more patient with my sister when she busts into my room, takes my favorite sweater, and spills ketchup on it. You're just gonna take a breath and be like, it's okay. It's all right. That hurts a little bit. It's my favorite sweater. But I'm gonna produce patience in that moment. I'm gonna treat her with kindness. I'm gonna show self-control. I'm gonna be gentle with her. I'm gonna love my sister even though she did that, right? And I'm gonna have joy, because ultimately joy doesn't come from a sweatshirt, right? Maybe for you, it's kindness. You're gonna work on that this week. And maybe it's with the things that you say, because you're kind of getting a reputation at school for saying things, like you're the jokester, but you're the one that's always putting other people down, and you wanna flip that script, so you're gonna work on kindness. Maybe for you, it's self-control. Self-control with the things that you're looking at on the internet, the things that you're watching, how much time you're spending in front of a screen even. You're gonna work on self-control in those areas. Look, the challenge is, if we're followers of Jesus, to produce good fruit. And not just do it when we want to, not just do it when we think other people deserve it, but to do it every single day. I know it's not always easy, but we are in this together. Ground Zero, we are in this together, all right? And God is in it with us, all right? Let me pray for you. God, thank you so much for every single one of these awesome, amazing students that hang out here on a Wednesday night, the best night of the week. Thank you that we can look at strange stories in the Bible, but we can pull things out of them that teach us how to live our life for you. God, thank you that when we put our faith in Jesus, when we make the decision to follow him, you give us your Spirit, the Holy Spirit that lives inside of us, that helps us produce this good fruit, this good character, these things that you are, God. And so I just pray that you would help us to pick some fruit this week to focus on, that we can grow more and more of it in our lives, that, man, we'll just do that every day, and it will just be evidence that you are working in our lives. It will just encourage us to know that you are with us. And I pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right. Hey, it has been so fun hanging out with you this week. Right now, we are going to head off to small group time. So if you're at one of our campuses, you can go to small group. Everybody who's watching online, that's it for us tonight. We'll see you next week.